One of the first questions that came up in my mind when I first got here back in the 6th grade was, how do I get around this place? Because it's 3 floors and a lot of staircases. Well, honestly, you just have to ask the people around you. You have to ask the bigger kids. You have to ask the teachers. Because really, nobody actually knows until you've been there for a few months. But it will come to you. What really helps is you have to know the name of your teachers. So, the room number, it's more confusing than the name of the teacher. So if you ask somebody, they'll point you in the right direction.
How do I find my way around this huge school? It's really not as difficult as it seems. Most of the 6th grade classes are on the 1st floor. Music classes and gym are on the 2nd floor. Art is on the 3rd floor. World language classes are on all 3 floors. All of the 6th grade lockers are on the 1st floor. The 7th grade lockers are on the 2nd floor. And the 8th grade lockers are on the 3rd floor. You'll get a better idea when you tour the building.
What are some fun activities that happen in middle school? Well, at Tappan, we have fun nights, which are usually around from 6 to 8, but you can dance, swim, eat food. They usually play some music that we think we're gonna like, and so you get to watch the people dance with your friends, and field trips are always super fun. Then we also have every quarter an honor roll party for those students who get all A's and B's, and so that's the honor roll. And then we also have athletic games after school, and so sometimes the concession stand will be open, so there's food, and then you can also watch your friends hopefully crush the other schools, but if not, you get to counsel them afterwards. And then there's also spirit wear days to where you can dress up cool, like PJ days and Time Warp Tuesday, Twin Tuesday, and dressing up in costumes for Halloween as long as they're school appropriate, but it's still a really fun thing.
What are some of the athletics here at Tappan? Are you ready for this long list? We have basketball, soccer, track, tennis, volleyball, softball, baseball, and the list goes on. No student can try out for any athletics without having a current physical on file. Your parents can go to our school's website to find out more information about Tappan athletics.
What are some school rules? Rule number 1, learn the school rules. Many of your schools follow the PBIS rules of being safe, responsible, and respectful at all times. We have those rules at Tappan as also. Other rules include no cell phones can be used during the day, no running in the halls, no wearing hoods, hats, or headwear unless for religious reasons. We also have school dress code policy. Our principal, Ms. Hayward, and assistant principal, Mr. Roberts, will go all over the rules in September.
So one thing you need to know about what not to do at Tappan is you don't want to mess around in the hallways, because you could get consequences. Anything could happen. You could get into accidents and all that, and you don't want that happening. If you're running or shoving each other with your friends, you could easily hurt somebody else or damage school property. They would usually call you out, bring you to them, and tell you not to run and what would be the consequences of running. Say, I want you to go back to where you started running and walk from there. It can make you late for class. It's happened to me a lot of times, so I would know. They would usually give you a warning, but if it goes on multiple times, they would probably write you a VOE, and if anything happens like a fight or you hurt somebody else, it could even be a suspension. A VOE is a violation of expectation. It's when you do something that doesn't follow what the rules say, you get that as a warning. You don't get to participate in a lot of stuff like fun nights. You can't go to fun nights if you have a VOE. Somebody else, it could even be a suspension.
Alright, so you might be wondering how middle school lunch is different from elementary school lunch. So in middle school, there's lots of more choices of food you can get, and you can bring money to buy ice cream and juice and chips.
My biggest concern coming into middle school was, how am I going to open my locker? I remember around the last day of school in elementary school, they gave us a combination lock, and they were like, practice this over the summer. And I practiced so much, and I was still not doing well. And when you got to middle school, there's always a way that you can make sure to get your locker open. You don't want to tell your combination to other people. So for that reason, there's teachers around that can come and help you, and they have keys if you can't open your locker. So that way you can get to class on time.
One of the things I had a question about when I came to middle school is when it comes to LGBT, where are the gender neutral bathrooms? Because, I went and talked to my counselors about it, and they told me where it is, but for the 2 years I've been using them, every time I go to use one, I get stopped by a teacher and they tell me that this is the teacher bathroom and that I'm not allowed to use this bathroom, and I have to explain that it's the gender neutral bathroom. And so they may come and talk to you about that, but you can't just let that stop you. And they're located, they do say teacher bathroom on them, but they may now say teacher or staff bathroom / neutral bathroom. And I have one teacher say that it was for neutral adults, but don't let that drive you away from using them if that's what you feel comfortable with, because that is also the gender neutral bathroom.
So I would just say that you should turn in your work on time when you can and try to do your homework every night, because if you don't and you turn it in late, then your grades will start dropping and you really got to keep up with that. Like, it's possible to catch up, but then you start falling behind in like a lot of other classes, and it's easier to just do your work when you get it.
You might ask, why do middle schools have counselors? Well, that's a great question. Middle schools and high schools have counselors that create your schedules, as well as can be there as a resource for you. You can go to your counselors if you have questions about your schedule. You can go for peer-to-peer groups, as well as doing things as talking about problems in your personal life, your school life, your social life, and anything else, and they are always there for you.
If you have like problems at home and you need like someone to talk to, you can talk to like the staff and the counselors, and you should feel comfortable and stuff. The staff are really nice,
and everybody here around you are really helpful when you're getting tough times.
So when coming to middle school, I can understand it's very difficult to transition into meeting new people and getting to know your teachers, but understand that from my experience, you are never alone. From people to teachers to counselors to your parents even, you're never alone. You'll always have somebody to turn your problems to.
Another thing that came to mind is, how do you get friends in a big school? I don't know one bit about that. It just comes to you, like navigating the building. It just comes to you. If you want to make friends, well, you don't have to worry about it. It's just gonna happen. Just don't worry about it. It'll come to you like navigating the building. Yeah, just relax. Have fun and try to learn stuff. You'll get it eventually.
Is making friends easy to do at Tappan? I mean, it depends on your attitude towards it. If you're just like, I hate everyone and everyone can go away, then, you're going to have some trouble making friends. But if you're open to new friendships, then it will come easily.
Take it easy and, don't stress out about everything, because especially 6th grade, it's not the hardest thing to go through. You just got to push through it, and once you keep going up the grades, it's going to get easier because you're going to learn new things.
Make sure you make plenty of friends, because we're all just one big family here, and so just try to make friends and don't fall.